Welcome to the Movie Draft Podcast. I'm Ethan Simi, and today I am joined by no co-host. I am joined by myself, but I am joined by two wonderful guests. First up, the host of the Phase Hero and the Love in the Time of Hydra podcasts, Jamie Jirak. What's up?
Hello, thank you for having me. Happy holidays.
And our second guest would be Bob Goochman of Lights, Camera, Barstool podcast. How's it going, man?
Doing good. I was going to whip out my George Bailey impression. I just was rewatching it, but now I'm deciding against it. I think I need to get a little bit more holiday cheer before I start ripping that one out.
Yeah, that's a late pod introduction. I can get that. And today we are drafting Christmas movies in a regular style draft. Welcome to the Movie Draft Podcast, guys. This is the first time either of you have been on this show in particular. Jamie, I've potted with you before, but not on the draft. I know you're a little anti-draft, so this is a big episode.
Ooh. Yes, I know what it's like having to get somebody on your pod last minute. So I was like, Ethan's my friend. I'll say yes. But we did a draft once on the old podcast before we did Phase Hero, and I found myself getting a little mean. Don't like that. Don't like when that comes out. So next time they did a draft, I said, I'm good. I don't really like myself when I do this, but I don't know you, Gooch, so get ready. We may be enemies.
I'm about to be very competitive. It's going to be very competitive. I'm going to be critiquing every pick you make.
I think this is wonderful. I've got two people on two different ends of the spectrum, and then hopefully it just allows me to cause chaos right in the middle of what we are trying to accomplish here today. So this is actually our 50th episode. Last week we had said that our X-Men episode was our 50th, but we switched some things around the schedule. So congratulations to the both of you. You are part of the 50th episode of the Movie Draft Podcast. Now here's the thing. Is that Sophie was going to join us for this pod. It was actually going to be a 4-person pod. And I feel like, enough Christmas movies to go around. Unfortunately, Sophie had a work commitment late. So Jamie, like you mentioned, I hit you guys up over the last couple of days. And I was like Ben dropped out. He is busy in Disneyland. Unfortunately, he just dropped that on us, which is good for you, Ben. Give me some Monsters University merch. But so I appreciate you guys coming on the show. Gooch, you said you're super competitive.
Yeah, of course. No, I lose. When I do my drafts on my show, I lose every single time because I just cannot bring myself to cave into the picks that will just win the draft. Like, I can't do it. I can't give up my morals, my ethics like that. No.
A man of your heart. I a man of conviction. I can attest to that. I think this will be interesting because the Christmas movie draft will inevitably be a very thin line between what is deemed a true blue Christmas movie, what people will vote for, and maybe how unique you want to get. We have 6 categories. One of them is a brand new category for this draft. And I feel like there is going to be a great mix of maybe what our teams could comprise here at the end of the draft. We'll start with kind of the opener before we kick off the draft, because here's the other interesting thing here is that Jamie has a heart out. And this draft will inevitably come down to a lot of debate about what is a Christmas movie. So I think these are two great things to have here on this draft because it really puts us in a high intensity situation. And I'm ready. I just drank my 3rd cup of coffee at 6 p.m. So I'm coming prepared as per usual. Jamie, you have your coffee as well. Love to see it. Gooch, the healthy one on the water.
I have Zins.
Little Chris Ryan magic in your pocket, hopefully. Okay. What does Christmas mean to you, Jamie, in terms of movies? How have Christmas movies kind of constructed your watching history?
Well, I love tradition in terms, and especially when it comes to movie watching. Like when I was a kid, every December 23rd, I would watch Look Who's Talking Now because they're part of the takes place on December 23rd. And let me tell you, Look Who's Talking Now, not a great film, but if you don't know me, I love John Travolta more than anyone on this planet. So I will say it, since I met my boyfriend Tony about 3.5 years ago, my Christmas movie watching has changed. I used to watch like the same 3 rom-coms every year, and now I don't do it as much because he doesn't rewatch things as often. So I've kind of expanded into what even is a Christmas movie, in terms of like if there's a lot of snow, I'm like Christmas that counts. So we'll see how that goes today. But I just I really enjoy the ritual of it, of Christmas movie watching.
Okay. I feel like I'm very much in your vein, so this will be really interesting. Oh, I spotted a Christmas light. That's a Christmas movie. So things are gonna get really fascinating. Gooch, what about you? Do you follow Christmas traditions? Do you try to bring some new movies in the fold every year? How does that look for you?
I've tried to more recently to try and like branch out a little bit more, but it's still, I just go back to, I mean, at their heart, and it's funny you bring up rom coms. These are like rom coms, not always like the best movies. They're not going to win Oscars, but they're comfort movies. And so, like, coming back to them year after year is what makes them so great. It's just nonstop schmaltz, saccharine, and I love it.
Yeah. I feel like Christmas movies are generally in mostly the category of like super classic, and then you have the other category of like indulgence, and this is my comfort movie. And I think it's different for everybody. I have a handful of Christmas movies I go to every single year, that are meaningful to me, to my wife, to my family. And now that my kids have gotten old enough to watch, I would say like a majority of standard Christmas movies, like family Christmas movies, they're interested in them as well. Listeners of the pod have a good idea of what a few of these Christmas movies might be. So I'm a little worried that I might have given my hand over the last 50 weeks here on the show and not be as secretive on this draft, but we will see. There are certain things that I have to watch every year, and that means I have to have them on my team. And if they're not on my team for this draft, we are going to have problems. We're going to have issues. So I don't know what to expect. I don't know how to plan for getting the things that I need. Now, I did call upon both of you at the last minute, and I generally ask our guests if they did any prep watching, any strategy prepping. Gooch, I'll throw it to you. You've had a little bit more prep time than Jamie. You've had about 24 hours on her. So did you do anything to get ready for this draft?
Yeah, I got about 200 names on a board behind this screen right now. There are some red flags on some of these movies
Wow.
with problematic past.
Of course.
White Christmas. But no, I did just go through the categories. It is like funny that so many of these movies they can fit into pretty much every box on the board if you really want to stretch them. But just the usual kind of prep. I mean, there are way less Christmas movies, like really studio released in theater Christmas movies than you think.
A lot less, for sure. I take a lot of pain that you're just throwing out strays for White Christmas right out of the gate. We're like 8 minutes into the show. So just to let you know, you flipped to the bad side right now. So
maybe I'm
against.
trying to lower the draft stock so I can maybe I'm trying to
play a little strategy.
Why is White Christmas problematic? Other than maybe what Vera Ellen had to do with her body to look like that, but it's probably problematic. But otherwise, I don't think White Christmas is that problematic.
No, I was just making a joke.
Oh, okay.
So pro-military. Pro-military themes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Pro war.
Yeah. They wish the war was never ending. They have a whole musical number.
This is true. Actually. Yeah, that's the problem there. The true crime of the American PTSD syndrome. Jamie, did you do any prep? I feel like I watch your logs on Letterboxd often enough where you're just like constantly watching a ton of stuff. And I feel like Christmas should be no different from you unless I'm wrong.
Yeah, today I watched something because I feel like it's one that I could get pushback on. So I watched it to strengthen my argument so that it would be fresh if I decide to use it. I might not decide to use it. But other than that, no, I've seen some. I'm a rewatcher. All the Christmas movies I've seen so much. I don't think I need. I didn't feel like I needed to do much planning other than writing a list. It does not have 200 names on it. It's just what I'm kind of with you, Ethan. Like it'll be hard for me to pick things that I personally don't love.
Yeah.
Like there's one, I won't say right now, but there's one very famous Christmas movie that I really hate. And I would never put it on my board, even though it's very famous.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. Okay. So going with the personal picks, going a little anti voting there. Okay. Well, I'm interested to see what happens. I didn't do any prep work for this besides the continual range of 3 Christmas movies that my kids asked to watch every hour that they're not in school. So I have a really good small slate to choose from. I tried to do a little bit of prep for this draft today. I will toot my own horn very briefly. I did get to join a roundtable with Brady Corbet, so I was a little focused on that today, and I was a little less focused on the draft. So we'll see if that negatively impacts my drafting abilities, but I feel like I have enough in each category to make it stretch and make it worth my while. My last question for you guys before we start going through categories, drafting, and of course, bringing up the question of what qualifies as a Christmas movie. Is anybody drafting Red One? You guys planning to draft Red One? That's like first round, first pick, right?
You know, I'm looking at my TV in my living room right now, and all I can think is Red One on that screen with that technology.
Cinema.
Unbelievable.
Put it on the Criterion channel right now.
I'm debating if I'm going to watch it because it looks atrocious. The worst trailer I've seen all year, I think, is the Red One trailer. But it's also free, and Bonnie Hunt's in it. And like, I'll do anything for Bonnie Hunt. So I feel like I'm going to end up sitting through it, but I'm going to need like at least 3 drinks in me before I do.
Yeah, that's Bonnie Hunt asking a lot of you to invest in the Red One universe, I'm sure. I have not seen Red One. I will not be seeing Red One. I have foregone that.
Okay, so I have seen it. It's terrible. it's like bottom 3 of the year for me. It's awful.
Trusted opinion. I'm glad that I'm correct in my stance of not having to watch this movie.
How much is Bonnie Hunt in it? Like, how much her screen time?
No. 2 minutes, 3 minutes.
All right.
Tough.
She's great. She is one of the highlights. Yes, but no, like 3 minutes maybe.
I think it would be the coolest thing in the world, Jamie, for you to 6th round wild card Red One and just be like, you know what, I got to do it for Bonnie. I guess anything's possible. Yeah, for the potential. Of course, we're probably going to be debating about what is deemed and classified as a Christmas movie. I'm going to save that for the draft. I do think it's important that we get into the categories, that we do spin and start this draft. So we are doing a regular style draft, meaning we're going to have 6 categories. We're going to be doing this draft snake style. So drafter A, B, C, C, B, A, until we have all filled up our teams. I will go through the categories real quick. So most of them are regulars here on the draft. We do have one new one. We've got drama, comedy, action horror, box office, and instead of 100 million domestic, we have decided to go with a $100 million worldwide. There's a pretty clear Wikipedia page for this that I cheated and used. So don't give me too much credit for really doing the research here. Now, the new category is unconventional Christmas. And the idea here is that you do a little bit of stretching, that you do a little bit of argument, and you try to figure out what the listeners, what we can also agree on is a Christmas movie, but maybe less classified or less institutional, I guess you could say. And then we have our wild card category. So those are going to be our 6 categories. Do you guys have any questions about the categories? I just feel like there's a lot of tension brewing before we draft about like what is eligible.
Are you keeping track of who used what category first? Are you
I've got it all in the doc, Jamie. I've got you covered.
I feel like I'm going to instantly forget what I say and do. Okay.
I've got you covered. And I generally in the doc, I will wait until somebody has finished their argument for a movie because I have been burned more times than not by putting it in the doc and then either getting vetoed or told it doesn't qualify. So we'll all look out for each other here. I think that's a good, fair slate. Anything else? Are you guys ready to draft? You don't want to do any shit talking, Gooch? You don't want to try and throw out any more strays before you get into this?
No. Now I feel bad. Now I'm realizing that this is the Christmas draft, and I can't be on that. I don't want to be a Grinch.
I thought you said initially you're like, I gotta have some Christmas spirit, and then you just abandoned that idea.
Yeah, no. I'll come back to it.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm embarrassed I'm the only one who dressed up. So
I feel really bad. I left my antler headband at my girlfriend's house. So I was like dying to not have one, but damn.
I finally have an ugly Christmas sweater. And the only reason that I got it is because it fits both my wife and I. She can wear it to work during the week of Christmas. I also had to wear it to an office party. Now, it's Elf, which is cool, sure, but it lights up. There's like 8 lights and you can turn it on. I should have worn it to the draft because then I possibly could have induced one of you to have some sort of reaction to all of the flashing lights and maybe not go the 70 minutes of the draft. Okay, let's draft. Let's pick our order. Now, normally Ben does the spinner. So I will say I've got nothing fancy up my sleeve for the spinner. I have it here on the phone. Normal, capital, first letter. If you guys haven't listened to prior pods, Ben is always mixing up how he does it. Sometimes lowercase, sometimes abbreviations on the names. It's of interest. It matters to me. So we shall see. Let's spin and see who is going to draft first. Did anybody want to draft first? Is anybody hoping to get first?
Let's go. I wanted it the whole way. I was dying for it.
Wow. That shouldn't be allowed, actually. Not enough Christmas spirit. It's like the sleigh in Elf. Can't do it. Shoot. Okay. Gooch gets first. Jamie, between you and I here. Oh, man. Second's not what I wanted. I do not want to be the sandwich. Shucks. Well, that's too bad. That's just too bad. Okay. So, Gooch, drafter A. I'm going to be drafter B. Jamie, you have got drafter C. Okay. Let's start this draft. Gooch, I am curious. Is there a number 1 pick in your world right now? Because, I mean, you obviously have that opportunity.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And old man Potter, he's sick to his stomach because I just got It's a Wonderful Life at number 1. There we go. I think it's the best Christmas movie. And there have been arguments against it actually being a Christmas movie. I think that's insane. Mm-hmm. It only has Christmas for like 7 minutes in it, but who cares? It is a Christmas movie through and through. It understands the spirit of Christmas. It's about selflessness. It's about giving. And that's what George Bailey stands for. It's number 1 in my heart forever. And the black and white version. I saw the colorized version on TV the other day. It's awful. It hurts my brain, but It's a Wonderful Life. First off the board. It's really bad.
Nominated for 5 Oscars, I will just say. That's it was pretty impressive. Which category are you taking this in?
I'm going to take it in the drama. I'm not sure you can really take it anywhere else. It has funny moments, especially towards the beginning, but I mean, the man's trying to kill himself. Yeah, it's a drama movie. Yes. Also, funny enough, while I was doing research, I did research for this, I think 2 weeks ago or a week ago, and did notice the 5 Oscar nominations, which I did not know. It also was considered communist propaganda when it first came out.
Talking about problematic. Jeez Louise.
The FBI blacklisted it for a little bit. They did not like the way the banker was portrayed.
Wow.
Which,
I'm actually going to put on the graphic, I'm going to put an asterisk and I'll just write communist propaganda right next to your movie. That way people just know we're clear on what we believe. Yeah. So how mad would, I guess both of you, but mainly Gooch, how mad would you be if I said that I've never seen this film?
Oh,
pretty
wow.
Mad.
Yeah, I feel terrible.
Not mad. I'm just
not mad. It's like more like you have something great. Like it's like that feeling when it's like you get to tell your friend to watch a great movie that you'll know. Like I know whoever watches this movie, if they have a soul in their heart, they're gonna love it. Like it just is that kind of movie. It's so endearing.
Wow. That's so kind. That is the Christmas spirit right there. How kind of you. Instead of being like, wow, I'm so disappointed in you. You're a terrible person. Wow. I feel bad that I haven't seen it. But Jamie, where was this on? Prime Video right now. You can stream it. Okay. Jamie, where was this on your power rankings here?
You know, I'll be honest. I think it's a beautiful movie. It's not one I revisit often. I think it just makes me sad. And that's really part of it. I did not even include it on my list because I knew that there would be someone here that would love it so much that like it's not one that I would need. It's like you know what I mean. But I do think it's a beautiful movie, and Ethan, I think that knowing you as I do, I think you would love it. I truly do. You should watch it this month.
Okay, I will try to get to it. Absolutely. I make a firm commitment that I will 50-50 check out It's a Wonderful Life this year. So, okay. It's a Wonderful Life, number 1 pick in drama. It's a classic. I feel like that's good. It's a nice safe pick.
This is not going to win me a draft.
You got five picks to go.
Wrong, actually.
You got a whole draft.
I think that It's a Wonderful Life is considered one of the greats. I think you're going to get a lot of love for that choice.
There's one movie though in any Christmas movie draft that is a draft winner. I did not take it, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't go with my heart.
That is a draft.
All right.
Or I couldn't go against my heart.
I feel so. I don't know if it's like underprepared or just like not knowledgeable. I just like don't think I understand what the people want. I don't understand what what is the next pick? I mean, I guess there's some that are stalwarts, right? That are like Christmas, always in the conversation. Okay. So here's my problem. There's a movie. I don't know. Let's see. I don't know how much I want to give away here. I don't know. I've tried to do this before where I'm just like, okay, if I don't talk about it and don't think about it, nobody will draft it. And then I can sneak it in the 5th and the 6th. If that doesn't work for me, this pod might never release. I think we just say, hey, it was a good 50 and we just don't run it back. But then again, if I take it first, I feel like I'm missing a huge opportunity to take something that is truly like a Christmas classic. Fuck it. You know what? Whatever. I gotta do it. I'm pilled, and this is my problem. In drama, should I do in drama? You guys do well. Here's the thing. Do you guys want to hear an argument for unconventional Christmas? This early in the show? This early in the draft? I feel like it might be.
Yeah, I'm willing to hear it.
Nah, I'm not gonna give it to you. I got other things in that category. And in drama, I'm gonna be taking Eyes Wide Shut, a movie that I just saw on the big screen the other night for the first time. Second time I've watched that movie. It's perfect. I don't know what else to say. It is 100% a Christmas movie. They are shopping with their daughter for a Christmas present at the end. He turns off the Christmas tree lights. The symbolism, incredible. So Eyes Wide Shut, 5-star masterpiece. Not going to win me a Christmas draft. So Gooch, you and I, same boat here. But I feel good about this pick.
Ethan, you were smart to do it because it was very high on my list. Eyes Wide Shut is one of my favorite films of all time. And I very much stand by that it's a Christmas movie myself because Tom Cruise is walking around a million Christmas trees the whole movie. There's a Christmas tree. There's a Christmas tree. To me, that's enough Christmas. That counts.
It applies.
The fucking clap kills me every time.
It's incredible.
The clap in that movie.
It's incredible.
Which I just realized after, I think, my 4th time seeing it, like a few months ago. This is a few months ago. I realized that one backshot scene, the only scene that's like technically New York City, even though Tom Cruise isn't there, back screen right there. That is literally across from my apartment that I lived in for 3 years in New York City. And it's only recognizable because of the Pink Pussycat, which still stands a sex store in the West Village.
Wow.
Greenwich Village. And I'm like, wait a minute. And then I also realized that the bar he's walking next to is just a absolute shit dive bar that I was going to nonstop. So I'm like, hey, Stanley.
Wow. And Eyes Wide Shut, man. That's so interesting because when I saw it, I was like, I wonder how many of these shops and stores are still around. Wow, you've confirmed my interest.
Yep.
Have you seen that amazing behind the scenes video where Tom Cruise is like basically just walking in front of a screen? But the way they do it is it's so cool. Like so much of that isn't real. It's wild.
It's amazing. That's so amazing. I was just telling somebody today at work that I saw it, and I just can't get over the fact that every single time Tom Cruise encounters somebody in his expedition, he's like, I'm a doctor. Here's my board card. And I think that's the greatest thing that you could ever do. Is just be like, I'm a doctor all the time. Incredible stuff. Cool. Awesome. Well, thank you, Jamie. I feel good about that pick. Okay. You've got 2.
So it's yeah. All right. Here's the thing. I'm just gonna get it over with. It's the big question, but it has to be done, and I have to draft it because it is not just a Christmas movie. It is in my top 5 favorite films of all time.
Oh, whoa! And
that this will be for action.
Yeah, of course.
We just got to rip off the Die Hard Band-Aid. We got to do it. I watched. Here's the thing. For me, there are two types of Christmas movies. Christmas movies you only watch at Christmas time, and Christmas movies you can watch anytime. And Die Hard, I believe is a Christmas movie, but I also watch it in July for its anniversary. And I also watch it every Valentine's Day. I've watched it every Valentine's Day for the last 16 years. I have Yippee-ki-yay candy hearts tattooed on me in honor of that tradition. It is truly, I think, like, I hate the Christmas movie debate. Who cares? It's so annoying. We do this every year. Why? I don't know. It's an amazing movie. It's a beautiful film. I'm so sick of talking about it, but I have to draft it first.
I'm so sad that neither one of us stole this from Jamie. I think that would have been maybe the funniest thing that's ever happened on this show. That's too bad. Well, congratulations to you for holding your cards close to your chest. Yeah, no debate on my end. It was my number one action thriller for sure.
Yeah, no, and I won't lie. I did look at Die Hard as my first pick for a second because that is I think the thinnest in terms of the number of like action horror Christmas movies. You get very thin there. I was like, Die Hard should be, that's a great value right there. But no, amazing. I actually watched, I wouldn't say I watched, but I had it on in the background, Die Hard 2 earlier today. What's your favorite Die Hard sequel? It's a good question.
That is a good question.
Oh, Die Hard with a Vengeance. It's not even close. Die Hard with a Vengeance is the greatest New York movie ever made.
I've only seen Die Hard one time in my life, and I've never seen a Die Hard sequel. I liked Die Hard. I just don't. I don't know. I just I missed like the boat. It came out before I was born, et cetera, et cetera. So.
When it came out before I was born, I think I've seen Die Hard in the triple digits. I think I've seen it triple digit times. I love it so much.
That's impressive. Well,
isn't it one of the all-time like word of mouth? You might know better than I would, since you're the Die Hard aficionado here. But it's like one of the all-time word of mouth releases where it just bombed its opening weekend. I think that every weekend after. So I think it is on the box office list too, isn't it not?
I believe it is
to the $100 range, which is crazy.
Yeah, it looks like Die Hard made $141 million the box office.
Pretty impressive. Also, a fun fact that you may not know is that Die Hard is based off a book called Nothing Lasts Forever, and the character in the book was a character in other movies played by Frank Sinatra. So Die Hard almost starred Frank Sinatra. And I've read the book. It's not very good, and it's very different from the movie, and we got the best version of what we could have gotten out of that book. Believe me.
Now that would be a good draft. Movie better than the book. I
like that.
That would be interesting. I'm gonna clock that for a future draft. Okay, Jamie, you have another pick.
Oh, great. I'm gonna go with the box office next.
Oh, interesting.
Yes, because I feel like this is maybe I don't know. I'm on a panel with dudes, so I don't know, but I had to get a romance in there, and no one on earth does romance like Nancy Meyers, so I had to go with The Holiday. I rewatched it this week. I love it so much. It's just a banger cast, and it made a lot of money. So that is my box office pick.
This is true. The Holiday made, I think it was $205 million at the worldwide box office. It's a lot of money. I mean, nothing to scoff at. In 2006, not bad. I've never seen it. I'm a big Nancy Meyers fan. I just have never seen The Holiday. And you know what? I think I almost queued it up the other night, and I was like, I better not. I better rewatch The Witch, and that's what I did instead. So tough beat for me.
I think I've seen it. I cannot remember anything from it. I think I saw it because it had Jack Black in it, and I was a 12-year-old boy, and I was like, oh, of course, Jack Black. And I was like, who the hell is this Jude Law fellow? Why is he so handsome? What's his deal? But it is funny you bring up like the divide on like the genders here, because I think every girl I follow on social media for the past like week, or at least 50% of them, have been talking about watching The Holiday. So all-time banger. I think you got good value here.
Yeah, I do think that strategy-wise, I should have saved it. But that's okay. I still feel good about where I'm headed.
Yeah, I feel good. It wasn't on my list. I wasn't going to ever draft this, but I'm happy for you. I'm trying to figure out. So this movie came out in 2006. I'm trying to figure out what Jude Law was up to at this time, and interesting state of affairs for our guy in 2006. My Blueberry Nights, Sleuth Rage, all these movies I've never heard of. Tough go for this guy. And then he makes Contagion in 2011, which is cool.
2004 is the Jude Law year. Jude Law made 6 movies in 2004, and I was 14, and I saw every single one of them in theaters. And so 2 years after that, he could do anything he wanted, is what was going on in 2006.
Yeah. Man, are you watching Skeleton Crew, Jamie? Are you Jude Law
doing that
over there?
As soon as we finish this podcast is what's I'm gonna do that. I was watching with Tony the other day, and he so seriously turned to me and he goes, "Is this the best Jude Law has ever looked?" And I was like, "He looks good, but The Holiday is the best Jude Law ever looked."
That's really funny. Yeah, I was just trying to see how far away we were from talented Mr. Ripley, because he's good looking in that movie. Okay, so you got Die Hard, you got The Holiday. Back to me. So again, we have hit a snag here because there's a category, and I think you mentioned this, Gooch, action thriller, I feel like is pretty light. At least in terms of good things to have. Die Hard was obviously the number one pick. There's some things out there, but I don't want them. I just want one in particular. And it's a little unfortunate because it starts my team off with 2, I would say, rather unconventional Christmas movies, or I guess like not in the mainstream of Christmas films, but an action thriller. I'll be taking Batman Returns, which is
God damn it. I'm not even kidding. It is top of the list action horror.
Wow. I feel so good right now. God, that's incredible stuff. It's in my Letterboxd top 4 for the holidays right now. I am just in love with this film. It's so good. And it's so Christmassy too. What's not to love about the Christmas spirit here?
I very much
ironically like is.
Yeah. Doesn't it start with an opening scene where the Christmas tree essentially blows up, like the town square? Things go crazy. Because Christopher Walken is being the mayor.
They open with the depressing scene of Oswald Cobblepot's parents throwing him into a river. Into a little basket, and then it opens with Danny Elfman's score, like following the carriage, like it's this fun little adventure for this child who's been thrown into a river.
I had a lot of fun with that. I thought that was a fun little adventure down to the
It is fun.
Gotham.
That's the magic of Tim Burton.
It really is. It really is.
This isn't what we're debating, but I believe it's the best Batman movie. Just putting that out there. If there's ever, I think it's the best. It's not my favorite. My favorite's Batman and Robin, but I think it's the best Batman movie.
That explains.
Wow, that is awesome.
The more camp it got, you're like, yes.
Yeah. Like I need it.
Yeah, I got a Batman and Robin poster right there.
Oh god. Oh my god.
We did do a Batman collaborative draft here on this show, and I tried my very hardest to get Batman Returns all the way to number 1, and I got it to number 3, which I feel like was good because one of the guests we had on there wanted to play it at 11, and I did my dirty work and I got it all the way up the board. Unfortunately, Jamie, I hate to break it to you, the number 11 in that collaborative draft, the worst Batman movie, Batman and Robin. So sorry.
Mistake. Listen, whatever. If you don't want to have fun, if you don't
redraft.
like equals, I don't know what to tell you.
That credit cards insured by Amex. Come on.
It's true. Is Batman Returns the horniest Batman movie?
Oh, it's the horniest maybe DC movie or comic book movie. It's so sexy.
I'm pro. I mean, that's the reason I like it.
Batman and Robin's pretty fucking horny too.
It is pretty horny, that's for sure.
The Schumacher stuff was like just.
It's a little more blatant, I think. A little bit less classy.
There's like a voyeuristic, like an outness, Batman and Robin horniness, like where like you're kind of like watching it through Joel Schumacher's eyes, but Batman Returns is horny within the characters, which I think is ultimately a sexier thing.
Agreed.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
Danny DeVito. Yes. I mean, who are we to question? The sex appeal.
Sexiest thing whenever put on screen. That's for sure. Okay. Gooch, you've got 2.
God, no, I'm stressed out.
Was that going to be your next pick? Batman Returns?
Yeah. I mean, no, it really was.
Wow.
I will stay in the action category though, because I have one that I'm going to not stretch as a Christmas movie, but stretch genre-wise. And that's Home Alone. Action horror. Home Alone. There is a lot going on here. This boy is fighting for his life. He's setting traps. This is basically Rambo for a 10-year-old.
Okay.
But it's just an absolute classic, Kevin. I mean, come on.
Hmm.
And really the whole franchise. I love them all. 3, 4, 5, 6. Home Alone again. No, I'm kidding. It's Home Alone and Home Alone 2, but Home Alone 1 is just, it is the classic. It is the classic that it is for a reason. We put it that way. It lives up to every merit bestowed upon it.
So you're a Home
I'm
Alone
sorry.
1 guy, I take it, instead of a Home Alone 2 guy.
I do like 2 a lot, but just Home Alone 1 holds the special place in my heart.
Okay. Jamie, do you have a gripe with this category, Fraud?
We're putting this in action horror? Home Alone.
Action thriller.
I won't lie. When I saw the list, on the Word doc, I saw it as action horror, and I was like, "Oh, it was definitely a horror for the bandits." I mean, come on now.
Scary shit
Got
for like
electrocuted.
Joe Pesci out there. Yeah.
There's spiders
I
being
feel
thrown
like
on people's
Action
faces.
thriller.
I
If
feel like
not,
Home Alone
I
is
have
strictly
somewhere
a
else I can put
comedy.
this.
I feel like Home Alone is a comedy. I mean, on Letterboxd, it only says family and comedy. I'm not seeing a thriller or an action. That would be
Here.
my debate. But
This
it
is what
a
I'm gonna
Christmas
do
movie.
then.
I would agree. I would unfortunately agree with that. We tend to go by Letterboxd and IMDb genres here on the show. So sorry, Gooch, you've been.
Damn, I was using Metacritic.
So yeah, we got Rotten Tomatoes vetting this information for us here.
I'm going to transfer this into the box office category then. That'll be my box office.
That's a good choice.
Interesting.
Yes.
Number 2 on this box office list, $476 million.
Really? I did not. I knew it was into the range. I did not realize it was that far.
It's a lot of dough. People love Home Alone. I like Home Alone. I'm more of a Home Alone 2 guy myself. Got to be honest.
Is it the toy chest? The toy chest rules.
It's really the pigeon lady that draws me in to Home Alone 2. You know, I gotta have someone that I can relate to on screen, see myself out there. Okay, yeah, I feel like Home Alone is one of the best Christmas picks you could make here on this draft for sure. But yeah, it's in comedy. I would have to agree on that. You have another pick.
Now this is going to go unconventional. Give me 1 second.
Oh, interesting. I feel like there's some pretty good unconventionals, and I'm excited to bust out.
And this is going to be the newest pick I've made, at least the youngest release. Came out in 2019, I believe. Holds a special place in my heart. It's been made like 5 times. It is Little Women. Little Women.
That's on my
list. It's just a classic. It's just a classic. Like immediately, like leaving the theater, I was like, "Oh, this is going to be around my entire life." I love this movie so much. Almost like a coronation for every actor, or except for Emma Watson, a coronation for every actor in the cast between Saoirse Ronan, Timothée Chalamet, Florence Pugh. Just unbelievable stuff. My Little Women. I'm Bob Odenkirk right now. It's my pick. It's my third pick.
I can't tell you how many times we've talked about this movie on this pod, and I have yet to see this film. I knew it was going to be drafted.
Frances Ha like your favorite movie?
If Frances Ha is in fact my favorite movie. Frances Ha is not Little Women.
What's she doing?
I hate to break to you.
No, but it's Greta.
It is Greta. This is true. I don't know, guys. I don't know. 135 minutes. You know, it's about women. I don't know what to do. You know, I don't know if I can.
You are a father of daughters.
I am. I guess I'm afraid. I am afraid that I will attach so emotionally to this film, and I'm not mentally prepared for that.
You got to do it, man. Like it's
watch one of them.
No, what?
Like,
I'm still pissed that it lost the Oscar for Best Adapted Screenplay. It is one of the greatest adaptations I've ever seen in my life. But you know, whatever.
What did it lose to? Jojo Rabbit? Like what would have been that year?
Jojo Rabbit, yeah, Jojo Rabbit, which I liked, but it should have been more.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really the triple header of actresses: Saoirse Ronan, Emma Watson, Florence Pugh. That's crazy. Laura Dern, Tracy Letts is in this movie, guys. That's all I needed to know.
Streep.
I'm gonna fire up this movie tonight. Our Lord and Savior Tracy Letts, physical media king.
Yes.
God, my guy. All right, Well, look out on the letterbox for me watching Little Women. Good pick, Gooch. I mean, I guess. Wouldn't know, but I mean, good for you.
It is a good pick.
Okay, let's see here. Let's see. This is interesting. This has not gone the way that I anticipated with some of these really big titles. And I like that for us. I'm proud of us as a unit, as a drafting cohort here, because there's some things that like people are probably groaning that haven't been drafted yet, but I feel like it's more fun, to leave those for when things get really testy. But what do I take? I guess I wasn't really prepared for it to be my turn. Got to be honest with you guys here. Wasn't really prepared. Okay, in box office, I will be taking. There's really two movies that I'm getting tossed up. Both of them feature pretty heavy uses of makeup. So I'm trying to figure out which one I want to go with more. I go with my heart. Yeah, in box office. Yeah. I will go with my heart. And, my wife and kids won't be happy, but it is what it is. It's the movie that I like more. I'm going to go with The Santa Claus in box office.
Oh,
okay.
This is one of the movies that I was mentioning at the top of the show where it's just like my Christmas season begins once I've seen The Santa Claus. That is as good as it gets. Healthy as a horse. Yeah, Clydesdale. Like it's good shit from Tim Allen in this movie. Honestly, I shout out Judge Reinhold for being the sweater king of forever. I love The Santa Claus. I truly do. Obviously, put aside Tim Allen and his current politics, but The Santa Claus, good movie. There's that.
Fantastic.
It's one of my favorites as well.
Good. Okay.
Listen, there is a reason that movie had 2 sequels and then a reboot on Disney Plus 15 years later. It is great. No, it is fantastic.
Good. Okay. I was worried.
No, you know how until you see people do come to a party dressed as your sexual awakening? Like if I ever went to one of those parties, I would dress like Bernard the Elf. Like I was like as a kid, that was my boy. Like
I have a lot of respect for that. And every time that I've watched the Santa Claus this season, I'm just like, look at our guy, David Krumholtz. He's an Oppenheimer too. Isn't that so exciting? That's my take.
And I met him this year and I played it cool. I was like, cause me, 20 years ago, I would have been like, oh, but I was just like, hey man, his new movie, Lousy Carter. I was like, hey, good movie, I've been a fan a long time. But I'm inside, I was like, it's Bernard.
Man, you should have told him. I feel good about this pick. I think this movie has really stood the test of time in terms of a Christmas comedy. So I feel really good about that. Okay. Well, I guess I only get one pick. I don't know. I feel sort of left out being the sandwich here. You guys get the doubles, and I like the doubles.
Yeah.
Not tonight.
Yeah, that is fun.
Yeah.
So it's me now?
All right. It's you, Jamie. You've got 2 picks.
Woo! Okay, well, first I'm going drama. Now, this could be considered a comedy as well. I believe it's both, but it is based on a drama, and Letterboxd clocks it as a drama first. I checked earlier today. And that is A Muppet Christmas Carol. Especially now that they've added Love Is Gone, a very dramatic and sad song that they've added back on the Disney Plus version. I'm a huge Muppet fan. I was just at Jim Henson Studios this weekend, and it was one of the greatest things I've ever gotten to do. And I would be very upset if I didn't get to include this on my list.
This is incredible because before we started recording, I was playing on my phone is because on my X timeline, screw that, Twitter timeline, something popped up and it's just a thread of this woman, Mary Travmus, where she said, watching this video as a hater who doesn't like when people have differing opinions from me, a thread. And it's just every Muppets movie ranked. I have not seen a single Muppets movie. I read every single tweet in this thread. So invested in these Muppet movie rankings.
You have to see the original Muppet movie.
It's incredible.
The original Muppet movie is a masterpiece. It's like a genuine cinematic masterpiece. The original Muppet movie. Also, A Muppet Christmas Carol. I'm sorry. I'm like, I can't wrap my brain around this.
My knowledge of the Muppets starts and stops with that Kermit the Frog song that peaked at number 1 in like the 70s.
Yeah.
Do all rainbows? That one?
No, keep going though.
Rainbow
Keep
Connection.
going. I'm gonna clip that. That's great
Yes.
content.
An Oscar-nominated song by Paul Williams. Wow, I can't believe you guys haven't seen this movie. It's so good.
I have nothing against them either. I love puppets. They're great. I'm sure I'd like these movies. It's something I never. It wasn't Muppets weren't a part of my childhood. It just like might be a generational thing or like a TV thing. Just my parents didn't put it on for me. I miss the Muppets. I missed them.
Yeah,
it's never too
me
late.
too.
You
Well,
have kids.
some things it's too late.
Them.
I need to have kids.
I just this week started getting into Fraggle Rock as a 34, almost 35-year-old person. I just started watching Fraggle Rock for the first time, and it's kind of incredible. So I don't think it's ever too late to get into some.
There you go. Yeah, I'm too busy showing my kids Grease for the 78th time to be showing them Muppets. Unfortunately, that's where we're at. I knew I'd put you in a pickle there, Jamie.
Of all time is Grease.
I know.
That's
why
Grease,
I said it.
You'd love the Muppets. Oh,
It was by the way tough to hear you have to defend Grease against your co-host last week. That was
those kind words. I take those really near and dear to my heart. It is truly unbelievable the amount of backlash I've received here on this show for my love of Grease. I stand by that take. Sometimes you got to change who you are to make people love you. You know.
We all
yeah.
know.
Also, the South, not to get off track. Oh, well, is that Zuko?
Got a Danny tattoo. Got a Zuko tat.
There we go.
Yeah, man.
Wait,
wow. Well, thanks so
Incredible.
much. The kind words have really thrown me off. You were gonna go somewhere though, Gooch. You're gonna go off track. I was interested in that.
Oh, well, I saw the South Park movie was also Catching Strays. One of the finest musicals ever made.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I just that's where I lot. That's where you're back. I don't know anymore. It was fun while it lasted our friendship. Too late now. The Muppet Christmas Carol. I guess should I put it on my watch list? Should I do it for you, Jamie?
Please, it would make me so happy if you
I am doing that right now.
I've done it. I've added it to my watch list.
But I do think you should. The original Muppet movie from the 70s is like innovative filmmaking. It really is worth watching. But you know,
they're both going on there.
Yeah,
I love it.
The Christmas Carol is probably going to get watched first.
Watch list gets deeper every day.
December.
Deeper every single day, and it never gets any smaller. You do have a second pick.
Okay, so all I have left is comedy, unconventional, and wild card. Is that right?
That's true. Those are the three you've got left.
Last. Okay.
Well, wild doesn't have to be last. I'm a little infamous for burning that in the first round. Okay.
I'm gonna say that for last. Unconventional. I don't think my unconventional choice is gonna get chosen. We're in this zone now where you're right. In comedy, I feel like two of the biggest comedies have been picked, which are the Santa Claus and Home Alone. There are two for me. One I think is a little bit more famous and popular, but I'm not going to pick it because I'm an Arnie girl. I always will be an Arnie girl. So for comedy, I got to do Jingle All the Way.
There we go. Knew it was coming.
Wow. I haven't seen this.
You better not be eating my cookies.
Is this a good movie? I don't know, guys.
It's funny. I don't know.
Like perfectly camp. Like it's like camp. It's funny. Like it is a very fun movie. I'll put it that way. I don't know if it's like the best movie, but it's very fun. And it's an annual rewatch for me too.
Is this the movie where Arnold Schwarzenegger turns into a superhero? Am I remembering this correctly? Okay.
Well, he doesn't turn into him as much as he is like part of the parade.
Spoiler alert. Holy cow. God, you got to give me longer than 28 years to watch a movie, man. I mean, come on. What do you expect?
It's
Phil
also
Hartman's
one of the only
there,
films.
and he's.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Jake Lloyd of Star Wars Phantom Menace fame is in it. And his character's name is Jamie. So
wow. I guess I'll add it to my watch list. I've got no take on Jingle All the Way. I'm a little out on Arnie. I gotta be honest with you guys. I hate that.
Oh
but,
no!
I'm sorry.
80s, 90s Arnold, no one can ever replicate what that man could do on screen. He couldn't act, but it didn't matter. He just had the charisma. That's all he needed.
He's got it.
It's a good
I
argument,
took an
actually.
art in college. I went to film school and I took a critical film studies class because that's what I wanted to do. And film studies 101, I get to class and the teacher goes, "So this semester we're only going to be watching Arnold Schwarzenegger movies," and it was amazing. We had to like critically watch like I think we did 14 of his movies, and
Wow.
it was one of my favorite classes I ever took in college.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I might have flunked that class. Who's to say, really? Okay, I have one single pick. I kind of feel like I'm being set up. I feel like I'm walking into a Sarlacc pit here on this one. Got to be honest with you. No, like you guys are aware there's like one really big Christmas movie that has gone undrafted.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Is there something I'm missing? Am I not plugged into the culture? Like, if people turned on this film, or like, would it be okay to put it on my team? You know,
if it's what I'm thinking, I watched it this week and I think it's great. I just it just felt a little obvious to me.
Oh, a little obvious. So
if you want to take 4 Christmases, go ahead. Take 4 Christmases.
Oh mine. Okay, so you think it's a little too plain Jane? That's the problem here. You think that if a voter is going to see this graphic, they're going to be like, lame. Should have put in the research. Should have put in the work.
No. I hope not. I really hope not. I hope that this movie, if it's the one I'm thinking of, that people haven't started to turn on it, because there is a thing to Christmas movies where it's like they're so pure. Like, why would you ever hate on any of these? Like, there's none of these deserve to be hated on.
I agree. Well, in the vein of Christmas spirit, I'll be going against my better judgment, and I really hope my friends are proud of me. I'll be taking, instead of Christmas with the Cranks, I'll be taking Elf in comedy. I feel like this is the right move.
We got him.
Right? I've been strung up by yeah. This guy's team canceled. What a loser. I feel like I'm walking into a trap still. You guys are like not helping the cause.
No, Elf is fantastic, and I that was the movie I assumed that we were talking about, and I really hope there isn't like some like weird like 16-year-old letterbox contingent like starting to form where they're like, actually, Elf stinks. Actually, that would break my heart. Yeah. I can deal with a lot of their bullshit, their reclamation or their declamation of mini movies. Elf is not one I think I could stand for. Like, it just you cannot like it. It's not bad. Like, it is just enjoyable through and through.
Yeah. I kind of have I guess outside of the Santa Claus, or are we positive? I kind of have like a Christmas in New York vibe going on here. Gotham, I guess, is stand-in for the city.
Oh,
but,
yeah, you do.
I feel pretty good about that. I like Elf. Rewatched it. I don't know if it's beneficial for me to say that I feel like Elf is a little overrated, but it's a classic for a reason, right? It's a new age classic for a reason. James Caan in this movie, lights out, to be honest with you. Just literally lights out. I think it's incredible. I had heard that I guess him and Will Ferrell didn't really get along on set, and so I guess that showed in the movie, and I appreciate that, and he's a hard businessman, and that's something that I look up to.
Will Ferrell, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, Will Ferrell working hard, journeying through the candy cane forest. That's my guy.
No, right. It really is. It's a sweet movie. I really do mean that. It's nice, and I think it's the last true Christmas classic that's been released, and that's 22 years ago now. 23. Yeah. I mean, it's a lot. It's been a while since we got like one of those instant Christmas classics.
So you're telling me that Carry On, not an instant Christmas classic?
Nope. I am the biggest Terrence stockholder, maybe this side of the Mississippi.
Damn. I was hoping we'd talk about this movie already, but I guess it's not looking likely.
I haven't seen it yet, but I want to.
It's good.
It seems very Die Hard 2 coded, based on what I've seen.
Very Die Hard 2. Okay, Gooch, you've got 2 picks.
And those are my comedy and wild card, correct?
You have drafted drama, comedy, and unconventional so far. So you have action horror, Sorry,
Okay, that's
action
what it is.
thriller. I'm mistaken. Sorry. Box office and wild card.
Oh, okay. Then I'm going to start. Wait, I have box office and wild card left.
You have box
Wasn't that
office.
Home Alone?
I thought you picked Home Alone and comedy.
No, he
I
did
moved it
box
to
office.
the box
Oh,
office.
you did box office. Okay.
That's where I was getting confused because I deleted that whole column. So I was just like, oh shit.
Okay, so then in that case, you have drafted drama, box office, and unconventional. You have comedy, action thriller, and wild card to go.
Okay, I'm going to start in comedy. Let's keep the mood light, and I'm going to go with Christmas Vacation. Another, I think, probably straight down the middle. This isn't complicating things. There's a lot of movies in the comedy sphere for Christmas movies. I think that's probably where the genre has its, the most of. But Christmas Vacation is my favorite. It's one of those ones where my dad showed it to me, and it's like, when your dad shows you a comedy movie, an old one, you're like, oh, geez, here we go. This isn't going to be funny.
You gotta lock
This
in.
isn't going to be funny. Oh, no. Christmas Vacation, actually funny. Like, still holds up. Still have it on Blu-ray. I love it. Chevy Chase, what an asshole, but goddamn, what a smile. It's so great.
True.
Yeah.
Christmas Vacation is a good movie, but it's a little too much for me. Like the last time I watched it, because I saw it in theaters a couple years ago, and my thing about it is it's hard for me to watch someone be a Shamil and a Shemazel at the same time. And if you don't know what that means, Shamil is someone who spills soup, and Shemazel a guy who's the soup gets spilled on. And in Chevy Chase, in the case of this movie, is both. And it's a little like it's kind of is a little cringy for me, but it also is undeniably very funny, and the neighbors really get me every time.
Oh yeah, I mean, you have Julia Louis-Dreyfus out there just being blinded and fall like that. That's a great running gag. They just keep getting blinded and falling over. Everything in their house is breakable. Everything.
That is pretty funny. That's a good bit. I have seen this movie one time. It unfortunately hasn't made it into like the regular rotation. I do think that's like a family age situation. Like I can't just throw on Christmas Vacation on a Saturday afternoon with my 4 and 6-year-old and expect them to like lock in on Christmas Vacation. So I don't know. Maybe it'll make the rotation, when they get a little bit older. Funny, but yeah, not something I find myself going back to regularly.
Just a Midwest classic too. I know you're West Coast. Jamie, are you on the East Coast, West Coast?
West Coast buddies over here.
I'm in
West
I'm in
Coast.
LA. But
Well,
I was born on the East
this
Coast.
also is like this is also like Midwest core. Like he's got a Bears hat on like for 90% of the runtime.
I lived in Chicago for 10 years, and I would go to my friend Casey's every Christmas Eve, and she's the born and bred Illinois person, and Christmas Vacation was on every year, no matter what. And I watched it every year when I lived in Chicago because it was the Midwest.
Yeah.
There you go. So that's our fault, Jamie. We're in the wrong on that one. We got to move to the Midwest, and then we can draft this film. Yeah.
All right, and then wild card. This is where I can just double up with pretty much off any category, correct? Let me make sure I got those rules correct.
So you're going wild card here and saving action thriller for last. Interesting.
I guess I probably should. I have one movie.
No. I'm not going to criticize. I just want to make sure we had some miscommunication a few minutes ago. I don't want to be liable here.
I've been studying all day. Actually, you are right. I should go action horror because I have a lot of movies that I can just are on the board and I can pull off. I've got one action movie left, but I do like it, and it will be the newest movie on my team. That is Violent Night, starring David Harbour. A very fun movie, very bloody, gory. John Leguizamo, villain, always. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I did not expect to like it. I remember seeing like trailers for it. It started in like July, and I was like, do we really need to do the evil or the badass John Wick Santa thing? And then when I saw it in action, I was like, you know what? Yeah, we should probably make a second one, actually.
That's sick.
I've never seen this movie. Night was it disappointed me deeply. I was the opposite of you. I was so hyped for that movie. I was ready to go, and I watched it, and I was like, wow, I didn't feel like they got nearly creative enough with it. I thought it took way too long to get started. I thought he was great. But some of the kills to me were like, I've seen all these kills in Christmas horror related films before, and I gotta say I was deeply let down by that film.
Can I mention something really timely and fascinating? This is insane that this movie got drafted because I just searched if there was a Violent Night 2 coming. And as of time of recording, as of 4 hours ago, there's a brand new article where David Harbour has confirmed that there's a sequel to Violent Night. I feel like we're pseudo breaking news here on this show, even though it's going to be released next week.
I love that.
I'll tell you,
I'm so
I
happy
will
for
watch
him.
the sequel. Even though I didn't really like the first one, I'm going to show up for the next one because I like his portrayal.
Oh, he's great. I love him. He's just, that is the ideal like male body. We got to get back to that. Just big burly men.
That's the peak. Made $76 million on a $25 million budget. Pretty solid for a holiday flick, that's for sure. All right. Violent Night was on my short list. I was never going to draft it because I haven't seen it, but it's good to see it getting some love. All right. What do we got left? Looks like I've got unconventional and wild card. What do I do? I feel like for unconventional, I've tooted this horn for a long time now, and I guess it's time for the rubber to meet the road and see what you guys think. I have always stood by the fact that Goodfellas is a Christmas movie. It's a pretty clear Christmas song in this film. They're in a bar during Christmas time. They're talking about Christmas presents to people. A lot of snow. A lot of heavy snow appearance in this movie. I feel good about it, but I want us to be on the same page here.
I would never in my life have called Goodfellas a Christmas movie, but I also am a firm believer that if it's a Christmas movie to you, it's a Christmas movie. So I can't argue against it.
It's incredible. I have basically two ringers on my side here for anything that I want. I could have drafted whatever, and you guys would have allowed it. All right,
probably.
I'll take it.
Yeah. I mean, if you could argue it, then I probably would have allowed it.
Except,
as long as you were just like, I'm going to take the Lion King, and then just like,
just leave it at that. Just like, let's go next pick. If anything, unconventional Christmas is kind of a trap because even if it gets approved, could be detrimental to your team come voting time. If people are really turned off to the idea of a certain movie being Christmas. I feel like Goodfellas is close enough. I have a lot of things in that category that I would have gone to bat for, but that's where I'll stick my guns.
People are going to have questions in the comment section for sure.
Oh yeah. That's so far out of what's been drafted. That is 100% the most unconventional.
Has Ray Liotta been in any other Christmas movies? That's what I'm trying to wonder now. I feel like he has to have been. He's got a Christmassy face to me.
He's got a Christmas fit. This is very interesting. Great question.
They're not Christmas movies, but he's in two different Muppet feature films, Muppets in Space and
it all comes back to the Muppets.
Well, I don't know about that. Yeah, that's true. He's in Muppets Most Wanted. That's crazy. Wow, maybe that's my end.
Papa.
Maybe that's how I start watching these. I don't know if he's in anything else. At least that's coming to mind. I'm looking at his Letterboxd right now, but I don't know a lot of these movies well enough to try to. Auto. Yeah,
of course. All right.
He's in an animated film called Abominable Christmas, according to the internet.
Oh yes, he is. I just arrived there. He voices Margaret Know-How. That seems legit. Oh, he's also in a film called Snowmen. He plays Reggie Kirkfield. 2010. Probably a banger, honestly.
He's in so many movies. 3
young friends find adventure and purpose in their attempts to set a Guinness World Record. That's got to be a good time. Well, I've drafted Goodfellas.
All right.
Jamie, you've got we got to rate Leona draft.
Give Jamie 10 minutes. Goodfellas was her next pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, God. I'm so blown away. I'm kind of struggling now because I've got unconventional and wild card left, which means like the world is my oyster with these last 2 picks. And I'm kind of just eyeing the overall look. And I think the thing that I'm missing the most is like you have Eyes Wide Shut, you have like Little Women, and these are like films, Oscar world films, and I feel like that is kind of what I'm missing. But I'm struggling because I have a couple that I'd love to use, but I feel like the audience maybe won't be familiar with them. and so they'll be turned off by them. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It's a standard Kevin Mikos performance here on the draft. He's known quite well for drafting deep from the heart. So you wouldn't be alone in that idea, if that makes you feel any better. He has, in fact, I don't think he's ever won a draft. So I don't know if that means anything to you. Maybe he's won one. I don't want to sell him short, but
Okay, I'm gonna go with unconventional for no. I'm gonna save my unconventional for last.
Okay.
I'm gonna do my wild card next, because one thing that I think that none of us have really dipped into that is a big part of the holiday season is Christmas horror. And while it's not necessarily my personal favorite, I do think it's the best horror film set at Christmas, and that is the 1970s Black Christmas. There have been two since. I do have a soft spot for Black Xmas, but people hate that movie, so I would never draft it. But so for my wild card, I'm going Black Christmas.
I had never seen it, and I was so mad last week because I was out of town. The night that they were playing it at the Music Box Theater in Chicago, they were showing Black Christmas on film. And I had to miss it. I've never seen it. I was like, this would be my perfect chance to see it. Couldn't make it.
Dang.
I just went to the Music Box because for the first time in many years, because I was visiting, and it's one of the greatest theaters of all time. It's such a beautiful theater.
Yeah.
And it would have been good to see there.
Yeah.
I have a lot of mutuals on Letterboxd that have rated it 5 stars. So I feel like I'm due. My local theater, the Hollywood Theater, is in fact showing Black Christmas, I believe, but I'm not quite sure when. This might be the kick that I need to go see it.
Anytime you can get a first watch on the big screen, I've discovered it makes the biggest difference.
Yeah. Well, they're showing it in 35 millimeter as well. Saturday, December 21st.
Hell yeah.
That might be the time.
Rip it.
Oh, yeah, I do think.
I saw it here on film at the New Bev, and it was a great double feature with Silent Night, Deadly Night, which is a very silly holiday horror that I recommend. But again, I wouldn't draft it.
No, I like this pick, though. Was this the pick from the heart that you were worried about losing votes?
No, this is not a pick from the heart.
Okay.
This was a pick to round out the genres for me.
I think that's a good round out for you. Yeah, impressive.
Thank you.
Okay, you do have unconventional. You're going to be the first one to finish and wrap their team here.
Oh, oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
You still got the double.
Oh no.
And I will not vamp for anybody but myself. So you're on the clock.
That's fair. So I have a lot of action movies on my list. And one of the I did watch a movie today, but I was only going to use it if I didn't get Die Hard. But because I have Die Hard, I don't need the other ones that I put on my list. I think what I'm going to go for, because it is currently in my top 4 on Letterboxd for the season, I will very much fight that it's a Christmas movie, and that is The Hateful Eight. Is my choice for conventional.
I just rewatched it.
That
2
is
days ago.
play. I respect that. Hell yeah.
It takes place around Christmas time. It's so snowy, and one of the most pivotal scenes is set to Silent Night. So to me, and the first day I saw the day it came out on Christmas Day. I saw it on Christmas Day, the day it came out, and to me, it'll always feel like a Christmas time movie. And Tarantino, I love Tarantino. So it's actually my least favorite Tarantino movie, and yet I've seen it so many times. I love it. That's how much I love his films.
Wow. That's bold. Can I ask you a Tarantino question real fast before we dive into Hateful Eight?
Please.
Sophie has been pretty critically crucified on this show for ranking Pulp Fiction as the 6th best Tarantino film. That's wrong, right? Like that's too low.
Well, that's crazy in my opinion. But here's the thing. I just introduced my friend to all of them, and she put them pretty low. And I'm like, the thing is, they're all good. So whatever speaks to you.
Yeah.
But Pulp Fiction's my favorite because it's the only one that stars John Travolta. So obviously it's my personal
This is
favorite.
true. I'm asking a captive audience. I love that.
No, that is funny. You picked that. I did literally rewatch that 2 days ago. I was tweeting about it nonstop while I'm watching. I'm like, hey, they should make Walton Goggins the lead in the next Tarantino movie. Like he's so captivating in that when he's just in the cabin being so antagonistic, and then he, whoa, I wasn't talking politics. Like,
It's so good.
He's fantastic, and I loved Samuel like finally getting his lead performance there in a Tarantino film. It is fantastic all around. I think it's going to age tremendously too.
Agreed. I just watched it and agreed.
I saw your tweet on that, Gooch, and I responded, and that's why I was like, I got to get this guy on the pod. He's one of mine, one of my people. Did you mention, Jamie, that The Hateful Eight was released on December 25th? Like that's an automatic Christmas movie, right? Okay,
yeah, exactly,
good, okay.
Exactly.
So that's interesting. I want to put a very fast pin in that because I have something to speak on regarding something being released on December 25th. But when this was released, it did do a limited roadshow on 70mm VistaVision film. I was lucky enough to see this movie the very first time last year on the 70mm VistaVision at the Hollywood Theater. I do think it's one of Tarantino's weaker films, but I think it's one of his more entertaining films for sure. And seeing it on that with the intermission baked in was really fucking cool. Like there's just no other way to put it. Speaking of movies that are released on December 25th. So there are two films. Let me put The Hateful Eight in the doc because God forbid I mess that up. There are two films that are releasing this year on Christmas Day. Well, there's others, but Nosferatu, obviously most notably, is the big one releasing on Christmas Day.
I got my tickets.
I also have my tickets for IMAX and then a 35mm showing the next day as well. Got experience in all formats, support celluloid. And Baby Girl. Now I've seen Baby Girl. It is in fact a Christmas movie.
Agreed.
The reason that I start this conversation is because there's another movie that by the time that this episode airs will have been in limited theatrical release in New York and LA. I just want to get your guys' take real fast. I'm not necessarily going to draft it. I'm thinking about it, but The Brutalist does in fact come out around this time. It does in fact feature a Christmas party. There is a Christmas tree. It's Christmas. Would you guys allow that as a draft pick? Because generally we don't allow to be drafted movies that have not wide released at time of episode.
It is somehow more gut-wrenching than Eyes Wide Shut. It is, as someone who has seen it, also it is a tragic movie. The opposite of Christmas Spirit. No laughing moments. Fantastic movie. Go see it if it's playing in your city. What it does, unbelievable. But
you're right.
Christmas movie.
I don't know if I want that on my team anymore. You've talked me down off the ledge.
I plan to go on Sunday. It's playing at the Vista here, so I do plan to go. Here's the thing, Ethan. As someone who is currently playing against you, I say, yeah, go for it. Let's see what the voters.
This is the trap that I'm talking about. I knew it'd come for me.
Do The Brutalist. Put it on in there, buddy.
I will not. I will pass on The Brutalist. I just wanted a way to work it in the conversation. Like you said, Gooch, I go see The Brutalist. Like I don't know what else to say. I have my tickets to see it on 70mm again when it comes to my town. Okay, this is a heart pick, and I'm going to do it. And I honestly, it might very well lose me the draft, which is just like the epitome of my drafting style here on the show. But I can't go to bed tonight knowing that I didn't draft this movie. So in my wild card, I will be taking what is in fact my favorite Christmas movie of all time. I'll be taking The Polar Express. Talk about Christmas joy. God, I love this
we
movie.
made it almost. We loved everybody. Everybody loved each other's picks. Everybody loved each other's picks. We were having such a great time.
And you love it even more now. We've elevated. Is this a worse pick than The Brutalist? That's my question to you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's been 20 years, but when I saw that in theaters, I think I was 14, and I was like, "This is one of the most horrifying movies I've ever seen." It is when you look up what uncanny valley means. I feel like this is the perfect example.
It's Zemeckis. It's everything Zemeckis has touched since Y2K has been just horrifying to look at.
Okay, so
it like started here. Like it really did.
Have you seen Here? Have you seen his latest movie?
No, I've seen the clips though.
Oh, you got to see it, man. I'm so in on that movie. God damn it. I hate defending Zemeckis films because this is inevitably what happens. Here's the thing with the Polar Express that I just want, the one theme I want to get off my chest. Zemeckis is so obsessed with time and how that alters our perception of the world, which of course many filmmakers are, many much more prestigious filmmakers are. But I find it so fascinating in the Polar Express that Tom Hanks plays almost every single character and voices a ton of people. And it's always about the train being on time. Are we on time? We have time to kill. I love it. I love it. This is my guilty pleasure Christmas movie. Might have lost me the draft. I stand by my take. Polar Express, excellent film.
It has in a weird way. It has entered like the rarefied Christmas movie air of like A Christmas Story, Die Hard. Like people debate those movies. People debate them hard, and it's gotten to that point. I feel like it has its shooters, like people like you who really ride or die for it.
Like
and then there are people like me and Jamie.
So descendant.
No. It's just like there is a massive disconnect on that movie. There's like just it is so polarizing for some the polarizing express.
Got him.
I do want to shout out because we didn't give a lot of love to animation. We talk about how like is Elf the last great Christmas movie? There hasn't been a lot, and in the 2010s, I think one of the best Christmas movies to come out was Arthur Christmas, and people don't talk about that movie a lot, but it's a really great animated film, and if you haven't watched it, I recommend it if you like animated movies. I think it doesn't get its due, and it's better than Polar Express.
You know what, Jamie?
Got him.
Neither of you are coming back. This is it. This has been the end. You're uninvited. I knew it. I was just waiting the whole draft for the inevitable. So here we are. Okay, Gooch, you got one more draft pick to go.
Ooh, and I'm the final pick. Wow, this is exciting. I'm going to go with my heart and the theme that you guys did too. And I'm going to go with a rom-com. Set in a retail store. I just watched it for the first time last week. Immediately got thrown into my all-time faves. I don't know if you've seen this. It's The Shop Around the Corner with Jimmy Stewart.
I knew it. I knew that was going to be your pick.
Ernst Lubitsch, unbelievable. I've only seen it once. Like I said, watched it last week. I was blown away. I was so endeared. I was kicking my feet the whole movie. I loved it. It's like You've Got Mail, except it's good. It's fantastic.
Well, You've Got Mail is
the reason I said don't is because I thought you were going to take You've Got Mail, which is a 5-star masterpiece.
It's also
really stark divide
in
in this draft now. This is unbelievable what's happening. I'm on a solo island all of a sudden. This is crazy.
I knew that's what you were going to pick. I was like, as soon as you started explaining it, I was excited for you to say it. Great film.
No, I really loved it. I'm like shocked I've gone this far in life and like haven't seen it. Like, I love rom-coms. I love Christmas movies. I love Jimmy Stewart. How have I not seen this movie? I'm so happy that I finally did. I wish I'd watch it sooner.
I'll probably never watch it because you took strays at You've Got Mail. Man, that's just too close to home.
But You've Got Mail wouldn't exist without Shop Around the Corner is the thing.
Yeah, and the Polar Express wouldn't exist without love and magic. So what are you gonna do? All right, we've done it. We've completed the Christmas movies draft here on the Movie Draft Podcast. Let's quickly go through our teams, and we'll go really fast through some honorable mentions, and we'll get out of here. Gooch, you want to start us off? You want to go through what you drafted?
Yeah, I took It's a Wonderful Life, Home Alone, very chalky right off the top. Little Women, I think that's my values. That's my steal of the draft. I feel like both, or at least Jamie had it on her list. Christmas Vacation, just a classic, Midwest classic, like I mentioned, Violent Night. And then A Shop Around the Corner, which I'll recommend to any and everyone. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. Don't be scared to watch old movies.
It's good advice. In drama, I took Eyes Wide Shut. In action thriller, I took Batman Returns. In box office, I took The Santa Claus. In comedy, I took Elf. In unconventional, I took Goodfellas. Less of a fight than I anticipated. And in wildcard, I took the Polar Express. Probably the best one on my team. Jamie, what is your team?
Action thriller, Die Hard, box office, The Holiday, drama, A Muppet Christmas Carol, comedy, Jingle All the Way, Wildcard, Black Christmas, and unconventional, The Hateful Eight.
I feel like all of our teams are very different, and I like that for us. Jamie, I'll start with you. Any big honorable mentions that you want to throw out there?
There's a couple I want to throw out. One of my top favorite films of all time that I love deeply is The Family Stone. I love that movie, but The Holiday I thought was more of a crowd pleaser, and I didn't need both. I did not need two. I think they're similar in tone, so so I didn't go for it. But I love that movie so much. Also, because in case I didn't get Die Hard, I had two on the ready. Action Christmas is I just love Shane Black, man, and I watched Lethal Weapon today, prepared to fight for it as a Christmas movie because literally the opening credits are to Jingle Bell Rock. It's an amazing film. And if I didn't get those two, my third action was going to be Long Kiss Goodnight, which is a banger movie. So those are the three I wanted to shout out.
I like those.
There we go. When you said Shane Black, I thought you were pivoting to Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, which was also
great.
That is in my honorable mentions. That would have been unconventional, I think. I think there's only one scene at a Christmas party, but it would have worked. Also, Val Kilmer, just so funny in that movie. The Apartment in there, Billy Wilder's The Apartment. Life of Brian. It opens on Christmas. It opens on the very first Christmas. The movie does. So that was going to be a stretch, but I could have worked it. Metropolitan, which is Wood Stillman movie, New York City, fantastic. Four Christmases, legitimately, is on my honorable mentions. I love that movie. I really do. But I feel happy with what I got.
Yeah, those are good. Those are good honorable mentions. I want to shout out the Holdovers. I'm a little surprised nobody drafted the Holdovers. I feel like that's kind of at least this year has kind of worked itself into the holiday canon for sure. I mentioned Christmas with the Cranks. That's just my second favorite Christmas movie. It's terrible. It's like one of the worst movies that's ever been made, but it has a very special place in my heart, and I think it's great. What else did we get on the list? Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, did not get picked. Yep. No Grinch film got picked. No live action, no animated. Interesting, to say the least.
Was that your other makeup? Was that the one that you were considering?
Mm-hmm. That was, yeah, the Jim Carrey one. That was going to be my other makeup. There's a great line in The Grinch at the end, if you haven't seen it recently, where he's sledding down the hill and he says, I think the snow is cold and the powder is bitchin', and it's awesome. It's just Jim Carrey batting 1,000. Unconventional. I have La La Land in this list because it does take place during the holidays. Merry Christmas. There's a nice way to say that, Karen. And then I always go to bat for House of Gucci because, Adam Driver gives Lady Gaga a gift card for Christmas, and I think that's one of the meanest things anybody's ever done to Lady Gaga on film. Okay. We've done it. We've completed the exercise of the Christmas movie draft here on the Movie Draft Pod. Do you have something else?
Yeah, I'd like to say, because in the beginning I hinted that there was a Christmas movie that I hated. But I thought someone would pick it, and it's A Christmas Story. I hate A Christmas Story.
Oh.
And no one
I've caught very much flack over the years for my vocal hate for that movie. I just don't like it. Yeah. I really don't like it. I don't like Ralphie. I've never liked him.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. For me. Can I also recommend two low-key Christmas movies because I did not put them in my draft because I felt like no one would know them. And one is The Silent Partner from 1978, Elliot Gould and Christopher Plummer. It is a cool thriller bank robber. It starts out very Christmassy, but kind of loses Christmas, but it's such a good movie and everyone should check it out. And the other is Remember the Night, 1939, Barbara Stanwyck, a very beautiful, sad, dramatic Christmas movie. I said all I needed to.
Some great recs. God, I appreciate you guys coming on here and just like encouraging people to watch old movies. That's sick. I think, Christmas movies have been around as long as film has. So I think that is, that's very, very cool. Massive thank you to you both for joining me on the Movie Draft podcast. Jamie, if people want to find more of you, where can they find you at?
At Jamie Jirak on Letterboxd, and I'm trying to make Blue Sky happen. I'm actually recommending a random movie every day on Blue Sky to try to help Blue Sky happen. So do that. And then Instagram, all that business. Thank you for having me. I know I was anti-draft, but I actually had a lot of fun, and I think I could be convinced if you'd have me to come back.
Wow.
This was a really good
Wow.
time.
I converted
Thank
you.
you.
That feels so
Yeah.
wonderful. Holy cow. Yeah, you're coming back. That's for sure. We gotta get you back on the pod. You should go to Blue Sky. You should recommend people check out a movie. It's called The Polar Express. Gooch, if you want to find more of you, where can they find you at, man?
Bobby Gooch on Letterboxd and Bobby_Gooch, and then Bob Goochman on X and Instagram, TikTok, all that good stuff.
Yeah, definitely recommend following both of you guys. Great content throughout. It says here in the notes a lovely thank you to Sophie for co-hosting with me. She's not here, so I take that back. Sophie, we missed you. Would have been fun, could have been fun. Be sure to listen and subscribe to the Movie Draft Podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. New episodes will be released weekly on Tuesdays. We'll see you then.
Bye.